Good morning and welcome to Blowout. Blowout is a syndicated live program of the network featuring chit-chatting and conversation on special interest topics, news, events, and stories through correspondence reports, expert opinions, and stakeholders' analysis. Today, we'll be looking at these stories. River States, 3 die while distilling will. Police investigates. Bayelsa State, Colts clash claims 3. Police hunts fleeing suspects. Edo State, Opebelo urged local government chairman to drive grassroots developments. Anambra State, government demolishes illegal structures, shanties in Onitsha. Benue State, government denies terrorist rehab center. Insecurity, bandits kidnap in Kwara community, curfew imposed. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic TV Network 1, on X at Atlantic TV Nets. Watch us live on our website www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We're going for a short commercial break. When I return, I will introduce my guest for today's program. Joining me today in the studio is none other than Mr. King, a public affairs analyst. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How do you do?
Very well.
All right. Okay, so let's get into today's conversation. 3 people, including 2 brothers, have died while distilling an old water well in Aminigbo community, Abua Odua local government area of River State. The incident occurred on Sunday. The community, an oil-producing area, is known for high concentrations of hazardous gases which are suspected to have contributed to the deaths. The River State Police Command has launched an investigation into the incident. According to the reports, the confined space job requires strict safety measures, including the use of oxygen masks, proper gas testing, and adequate ventilation, precautions that were not reportedly in place. Confirming the developments, the Public Relations Officer of the River State Police Command, Grace Iringe Koko, a Chief Superintendent of Police, said the well's owner intended to put the abandoned tank back into use and had contracted the 2 brothers for the job. Mr. Hianacho, it's quite an unfortunate situation where a family had to lose 2 of their sons due to lack of precaution taken for these kind of activities. One will think that when it comes to such hazardous activities, we will contact professionals. And by professionals, people that know their job and then know what it requires to carry out the job. What do you have to say concerning this side situation and how in the future avoid these unfortunate happenings?
First of all, it's a very disheartening situation, and I feel so bad, especially where we have 2 brothers losing their lives simultaneously and should I say, not taking the proper safety measures. But I think situations like this are quite avoidable, especially when you involve yourself into such risk-demanding activities. So I think the best first is to make sure that you are properly equipped in terms of the safety measures. If there were other safety alternatives while I was reading the update, I discovered that one was already inside the well and the other 2 later joined when they heard him screaming and all that. So if there were safety measures that were put in place before the first person entered the way, I think the other 2 would have sought for ways to rescue him, or at least know the reason why he's yelling in the way. So it's very unfortunate.
Yeah, like you rightfully mentioned, when they heard him scream, one would have thought that they would have taken precautions into going down the well. I mean, considering that is an oil-rich community, it's obvious that this will not happen the first time such a situation had happened. Okay, so other than the individuals taking precautions, what can the local government chairman, because it's a community, so obviously instead of reacting for our governments at the grassroots level, what can the authorities, what can the leaders in that community do to safeguard the people living in that communities? Because it's obvious it's not the first time such a situation had happened.
Things like this in most cases are not very much on the knowledge of the government. Because if the government is the existence of well, I mean that kind of pit well in this century, they would have put up some measures or some professionals who would be in charge of doing that. But how be it, I would either suggest that we allow the police do their investigations and come up with the best alternative to putting to stop these kind of scenarios.
Okay, no problem. Let's move on quickly.
Thank you.
Calls-related violences in Bayelsa State has reportedly claimed 3 more lives following a renewed clash between suspected rival groups. Authorities said investigations had commenced as security operatives moved back to track down fleeing suspects linked to the incidents. The Bayelsa State Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Musa Mohammed, confirmed the developments to newsmen on Monday. The incident is part of a series of cult-related clashes in recent months between Bobos and Greenlanders cult groups that have caused fatalities and triggered panic in several communities over fear of further attacks. 2 weeks earlier, a 30-year-old man identified as Ebi was reportedly beheaded by suspected members of the Bobos cult group in the Yenagua area of Yenagua, the Bayelsa state capital. When I hear stories like this, I don't know, it's sad.
Yeah.
Because you will think that with how the world is moving, and then the youths have different avenues of, keeping themselves occupied and then making money and then living a productive life, who in their right mind would want to be involved in cult activities? We're talking about a 30-year-old man that was beheaded, so you can't really say he's such a youngin or he's still in university, or it happened, because we hear of these stories most of the time in universities. So how do these cult activities leave the campus and then get into society when they're meant to be productive with themselves?
The issue of cultism, I think, particularly in Bayelsa State, is becoming quite alarming. I don't see how young people, young men, would involve themselves in such, activity. It's very bad. It's very disheartening. So if you look at the society today, people are, your mates are either in schools, some are, doing one or two businesses and trades and all that. So I still do not expect people to still involve themselves in this kind of activity. And the best I can actually say is let the Bayelsa State government look for ways to eradicate this menace that is taking up the youths in Bayelsa State. This is not the first time we're hearing of this kind of incidents, and it's very bad and appalling. So the government should put up strict measures. There was a time in this state, in River State here, where this cult-related activities was at its peak. But I can remember then the immediate past governor of River State, the current FCT minister. I can remember the kind of strict measures that were put in place. There was a time in this Port Harcourt where you cannot go to my one by 5 p.m. There was a time in this Port Harcourt where by UST roundabout you can't, those places are kind of terrorized places, especially by some kind of evening hours. So the government then decided to look up for strict measures to adopt that will make these young people, deviate from such activity. And today we have at least peace in the state when it comes to cultism and all that. So the Bayelsa State government should adopt the same strict measures. Do not play with these young men. Someone was beheaded. It's a human being. So anybody who is caught should face the wrath of the law, and that is it.
But do you think in this instance the fear of the law can work? Because these are obviously hardened individuals. Because if you can behead a member of your cult group or a rival gang, is it police or being held in prison that you're going to be scared of? Because most of the time, these individuals get into incarceration and then come out worse than they were, or worse than they entered into. So do you think the fear of the law can actually prohibit them from acting the way they're doing?
One thing I know is that I see no gain. In fact, there is no cultist who has come up to tell us that this is why he's involved in this kind of activity. But making them face the law, you cannot just say when someone commits an offense, you should bond a person and all that, jungle justice, but there is a law that is meant to discipline these persons. Do you understand me? Somebody is dead, you understand, and someone killed that person, and there is a law for it. So if it is life imprisonment, sentence to death, or whatsoever, the law is there to punish the person squarely. And I believe the law will put the person to check. That's exactly what it is.
Okay. Then, other than strict measures to be meted out on these individuals,
Yes.
so one would say is that it's the economy that pushes them to act the way they do.
The economy does not have any. You see,
when I say the economy, you know, some of these cult groups are being hired by some of our political leaders to perpetrate some devious actions for them.
The truth of the matter, just like what we are saying now, there is no political tension in Bayelsa State. There is no political activity in Bayelsa State currently. So can we now say that politicians are still using those? Look,
so then what's the fancy when it comes
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Exactly
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, back then when we were in school, I can remember very well when we were in school those days. I will go to night class. You see some, individuals, students too. They will come to the class. In fact, then we don't go to night class with our phones, because we are sure that when those bad set of students or those set of people, when they come to school, or when they come for the night class, they would start robbing their fellow students. So if you look at that scenario, you discover that there is no political affiliation to that. You just discover that they just want to misbehave. Do you understand? This is a society, and these things are kind of in existence, and that is why the law is there, because the law knows that there are people who perpetrate crime in the society. So it has nothing to do with politics or politician. If a politician, for example, hires you to perpetrate crime or evil, you should know that there is a law that will put you to check. The politician will not save you from the law. Do you understand me? So you as an individual should you shouldn't give in fact they say ignorance of the law is not an excuse. So you shouldn't give an excuse that the reason why you killed somebody is because a politician sent you to kill. That is not.
So you mean it does not have economic factor, it does not have a political factor or a political angle. It's just basically these individuals.
Why haven't I been sent to kill somebody?
Are you a member of a cult?
Okay, I'm not.
So why would they send you to?
No. What I'm saying is, look, I don't know what you call court. Do you understand? Hiding under the, would I say whatever you call, what is that name they call themselves? Something, bobos or something. Hiding under a particular group perpetrating crime, and you say it's court, it's rubbish. Do you understand? If, as a human being, you are sent to commit an offense, you should know that that offense is punishable. Do you understand? By law. It doesn't have to do with court or whatsoever. Do you understand me? So the nomenclature court, okay, should remain a nomenclature. Why extending it to killing an individual? Why extending it to perpetrating crime? Do you understand me? So I don't really know what's the benefit from this whole, crime and fight and all that. So I think they should the police should investigate the matter, take them to court, and they should face the wrath of the law. And that's my opinion.
All right, so also says that since we have amnesty programs for militants and we have rehabilitation programs for terrorists, these people are no different from these terrorists and then bandits that we hear of that are usually rehabilitated when they are caught. So when those cultists are caught, how would you advise the federal government or the state government or whoever is involved to move? I'm not talking about the police forces. I'm talking about when it comes to governance in general, the state government, the federal government, or the local government. When these individuals are caught and are apprehended by the police, what's the way forward for them? Because we have amnesty programs for militants. We have rehabilitation programs for terrorists. So should there not be another program for these individuals?
The amnesty program that we talk about is not prevalent in all cases, number one. Number two, the government actually knows how to. In fact, there are trained security personnel who actually knows how to go about, the first thing we should know is that even when people are being given pardons in prison, those persons were made to face the law first. Do you understand? That is just my own point. If there are other measures that can help reduce the level of crime by the government and security operatives, if the amnesty program is part of it or whatever, I don't have an issue with that. But my own is that let the law take its course on these individuals.
Okay. He said, let the law take its course on these individuals. As far as he's concerned, there is no room for pardon.
Yeah, I didn't say there is no room for pardon. I didn't say so. I mean, the president or the governor or whoever in charge, if they see reasons why this person should be pardoned by the law, I don't have an issue with that. You understand me?
Okay.
But the point I'm making is that before these persons are pardoned, I'm just trying to inform you that they were first taken somewhere first. Do you understand? To face the law first. So that process is what I'm much more concerned about. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to Edo. Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, on Monday urged local government council chairmen across the 18 local government areas of the state to ensure infrastructural development in their localities. This charge was given in Benin City at the distribution of 54 earth-moving equipment consisting of graders, payloaders, and trucks, which was distributed 3 per council. Commissioning the equipment, Wike praised the governor's commitment to rural development and economic empowerment at the grassroots. Senator representing Edo North Senatorial District, Adams Aliyu Oshimole, said, governance is about identifying with the ordinary man and using political will to protect their interests. Hinacho, I'll come to you on this one. I'm actually particularly concerned with grassroots developments.
Yeah.
And then, especially now with this administration, where the local governments are given financial autonomy, where they have a right over their allocations and resources and how they should use it.
Yeah.
Do you think that the governor of Edo State empower this local government for them to do the right thing for their localities is one of the best way to handle this new reform or new way of bringing governance?
What else are we clamoring for? This is exactly what every citizen of Edo State, or should I say Nigeria at large, is praying for. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We are praying and clamoring for infrastructural development. When I read the news, I think yesterday, I discovered that he did not just come up to make utterances. He purchased some equipment, you understand, to help facilitate this infrastructural development. So it is now left for the local government chairman to emulate the governor by making sure that those equipment are used properly to ensure or to make sure that the roads or the infrastructural development that are meant for them are being done. Just like in my local government, for example, the Eche local government. We have the best performing local government chairman. I keep saying this, that it is not just about the federal government or state. We have the local government as well. And this current administration has put up a very good structure local governments where they can function effectively, especially when it comes to infrastructural development. If you come to my local government today, I can particularly tell you, my community where I come from, we do not have, since I was born. In fact, the last time we had an electric pole was far back. I wasn't born then. Was far back 1970s, and the lights never came. Like, it was just a pole mounted, and something happened. But today we have light in my place now, courtesy of the local government chairman, Honorable Chima Njoku. So what did he do? He made sure that he used the resources, that are allocated for the Eche people to light up today Che generally is light. In fact, the light is not just the normal one. I think from Federal Light or something. So he didn't even stop there. I also learned that he bought some payloaders and all those road grading equipment to grade some bad roads and all that. So we are praying for this. We are clamoring for this.
That's because they've actually been granted autonomy over their finances.
Yes.
But
not just that. Not just granting them autonomy. You also discover that these persons are eager to work. Do you understand? These persons, particularly this person I'm talking about, is ready and very much ready to work.
Yeah, but being ready to work and then having the resources you need to work is different.
Yes.
I know the governor of Edo State, he's been applauded for, I don't know, doing his job, because as far as I'm concerned, that's not something to even be very happy about. We over applaud these politicians for doing the bare minimum. As of 2024, like I said, this administration gave autonomy to local governments chairman, because we want to bring governance to the grassroots. Nobody can understand these local localities or local governments more or better than their local government chairman, because they are closer to the people.
Yes.
Before even the governor and the federal government and whatnot. But in the case of Edo State, up until now, they're still struggling for their allocation. It's still being intercepted by the state government.
How did you know?
Are you actually? You can do your research. It's a fact.
It's been intercepted.
It's been intercepted. It's a fact. You can do your research. I've done my research. You asking me as a journalist, how do I know?
No. I'm not arguing with you.
No, but you're actually questioning me. How do I know that?
Yes.
Okay, do you have?
I should do research.
Do you have your information that they have access to their?
If they don't have access to their resources, how are they able to, get the jobs done and all that things that they are doing?
Which jobs done? Because these monies are supposed to go into their accounts directly. It's not supposed to go into the state government account. For the state government.
The Accountant General of the state and discover that the
if I've spoken to the Accountant General of the state,
or have you heard?
If you will, I could give you the leeway.
No.
You can be
what is most important? What is most important?
What I do not like. One thing I do not like. First of all, as a journalist, is for people to try and then play in the face of the people, right?
Okay.
Especially when you feel like, because you're not on the receiving end, you're allowed to play in the face of the people for whatever reason. It's a known fact. You asked me if I've spoken to the accountant. Hold on.
No.
I actually understand that Edo State is part of those states in Nigeria who are still intercepting fundings meant for local government chairman.
Governor Peholo is doing what he's supposed to do.
And which is what?
You just
by taking their resources.
No, that is not the money. That is not what we are talking about.
How to hand this over to them?
No,
okay. So let's upload him for giving each locality from the 18 local governments were given 3 equipment.
Okay, I think
hold on. Do you know that if this 18 localities
is the local government chairman?
Let me finish.
And they have a council of local government chairman.
Can I finish?
Okay, continue.
I don't know why you're worked out. Are you the PA?
No. I'm not worked up.
You seem very worked up. Just get to water. Going to come down.
No.
Okay, the question here is this, okay? We want governance to the grassroots.
Yeah.
And we can understand that financing is one of the ways that we can drive down here. You're praising the Eche local government because he's been able to do this, he's been able to do that. Before you were given birth to, 1970s, we've not seen